Is learning the English language your toughest challenge yet? Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials.
What do you do when you are angry?
I usually calm down first and think about the reason that caused my anger.
That's smart. What do you usually do to relieve your anger?
Something like listening to music is a good idea.
Oh, what kind of music do you listen to?
Classic. Something that could calm your mind.
I think that might work for me as well.
Working out is another good way to relieve anger.
Like what?
Jogging, yoga, or even just taking a walk.
Excuse me, are you Dr. Smith?
Yes, I am. And you?
I'm David, Joanna's husband. She has to be at work late today. So she asked me to pick you up here.
So nice to meet you, David. Call me Bill. It's very nice of you to come here.
My pleasure.
Who's that old lady trimming the trees?
She's my grandma.
She looks very healthy. How old is she?
92. Excuse me, is this seat taken?
I'm afraid this seat is taken.
Oh, is it? Thank you anyway.
You're welcome. Why don't you ask the conductor when he comes by?
Thank you. What do you think of the Olympic motto, higher, faster and stronger?
Well, it's better than friendship first, competition second.
Why? In my opinion, it doesn't matter whether you won or not. The most important thing is participation.
I still think nobody plays for nothing.
What do you think of the speech the man delivered just now?
Don't believe him. He's a liar.
We cannot expect politics to be true anyway.
Exactly.
When I was at school, I was quite good at track and field events. I was on the school team for the long jump, 100 and 200 meter sprints and the javelin.
Really? I was quite good at the hurdles and the discus.
I wish that I were good at the discus, but I could rarely throw it in the right direction. I was awful. With the hurdles, I could never jump over them.
I thought you were good at the high jump.
No, I was good at the long jump. I liked the sprints best.
Did you ever win any competitions?
I was regional champion for the 100 and 200 meters. I usually did well in the dong jump competitions, but I couldn't compete with kids from other schools in the javelin. How about you?
I came second and third a few times in the regional championships, but I never won. Did you ever take part in the national championship for the sprinting events?
Yes, I did, but I didn't do very well. I made the final in both events, but came last. At least I made the final. I was very pleased with that. Sandra is actually a blue chipper. I don't think she could realize that she has married a fool for women.
That's fate.
I feel sorry for her.
Maybe this is God's will.
Lucy. What are your priorities when buying a car?
I guess the first thing is the price. The second is the size, and of course the color will play a role too. But I have to be honest. It is our today's responsibility to take care about our environment. Therefore, I will also pay attention to the fuel consumption of the car. You know, the rise in gasoline prices is huge. So I would rather to consider a smaller car with smaller engine, for which I can also save some tax. Last of the list, I also consider the safety.
What about the environmental factors?
Well, I do prefer the lower emission cars as long as it doesn't cost much. Some environmentally friendly cars are really expensive.
Sure they are. Some high-tech devices are built in to make sure they pollute less. Some of these green cars have not become standard, so the production costs are still high. But anyway, we should make efforts to start with.
Have you thought of moving at all, Sarah?
We've thought about it, but my husband and I can't afford it right now. The only thing we could afford would be living in the slums, which is something I don't want to do.
Buying a house can be expensive, but there are ways to find cheaper houses.
Like what?
Well, sometimes the city auctions offer houses to the community. You'd have to make a quick decision about the offer in a day, but you would definitely save money doing it that way.
That's a good idea. Do you know anyone who has done that before?
Sure. My sister-in-law and her husband just bought a house that way. They're pretty satisfied with it.
Is the house pretty run down?
Not at all. The woman, who owned it, took good care of it. But when she died, she had no family left and no will, so the government had to sell it for her.
Was it a very old house?
It was about 75 years old. There were a few repairs that needed doing, but it didn't take a lot of money or time.
Is it in a good location?
The area can be a bit rough in the evenings, but the neighbors watch out for each other, so it's okay.
It seems that many boys are fighting there.
Break it up. I will not permit fighting in this campus.
What are you up to tonight, Steve?
I'm going to a disco with my friends.
That sounds like fun. Have a good time.
What's your favorite steps?
It's hard to say, but I do love waltz very much.
How about rumba?
To tell the truth, I don't like it.
Really? You must like tango, right?
Oh, it's really beautiful, but I just can't dance it well.
Don't be so modest. I'm sure you can dance it very well. Let's dance it now.
Okay, I'll have a try.
Oh, you dance it so well.
Thank you for your compliment.
I think I'm your lucky fellow. Why don't you come around for a meal one evening next week?
I'd love to.
Which day would suit you?
Any day except Tuesday.
How about Thursday?
Yes, Thursday would be fine. What time shall I come?
Oh, about 6 o'clock. Will that be okay?
Yes, of course. Thank you very much.
See you on Thursday, then.
I'd like to meet you again sometime.
That would be great. Actually, can I get your phone number, Ella? That's assuming you don't mind if I call you sometime.
Anytime. You can reach me at 5,558,929.
Okay, got it. I will call you sometime next week.
Fine.
It's time to go. Bye, Ella. Hope to see you soon.
Bye, Jason. Hi, I'm Jake. I'm new to the choir. What's your name?
Hello, there. My name is Tanya.
Do you sing alto?
Actually, I can do both soprano and alto, but the director asked me to sing alto for the next perforate. What about you?
Looks like we both float back and forth. I'm baritone.
Our bass section is really good. You're going to love singing with them.
I heard them warming up earlier. You're right.
It's good to have you in the group. We can always use a good baritone.
Hello, Ellen.
Hello, Helen. Have you heard the news? There's been a horrible accident.
Oh, no. What happened?
Hilda Harris' husband, Henry, had an accident on his way home from work.
How awful. Was he hurt?
Yes. He was taken to the hospital in an ambulance.
How did it happen?
His car was hit by an express train. It happened at the crossing just behind his house.
How horrible.
He's having an operation in the hospital now. Poor Hilda. You can imagine how unhappy she is.
I hope he'll be all right.
I hope so, too.
Merry Christmas, Mary.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Bean.
Will you come to join us at dinner this evening? My family will be happy to see you. And Father misses you very much.
Well, I would be glad to, but I have promised Tom to see his Christmas tree and play the piano for his song tonight.
Why are you walking to and fro in the room?
I'm worrying about the children. After all, this is the first time they have been out without us.
Don't worry. They are grown-ups.
I know, but I couldn't help.
Why are you going out with Andy?
Because I like him.
Me, too. I think he's really a shoulder to cry on.
Our mission is to help you learn the English language. We have created easy-to-follow, free educational materials for those seeking knowledge of English.